Welcome. You have reached review time with Imperial, and today's review is Madam Web. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's get into it. So, on this channel, if it's your first time here, when it comes to me reviewing superhero movies, I'm not a comic guy that's all in the comics and know the backstories, and I didn't grow up reading comics. I watch cartoons, whatever. So I always consider myself a novice when it comes to reviewing these superhero movies. And I always say this same statement in all of my reviews for superhero movies because it's a lot of backstory on these movies. Backstory on these movies with the comics and how they all tie in. So I'm just giving you the recap from a novice standpoint and telling you whether it's good or not. So let's just go over the cast. Dakota Johnson plays as Cassandra Webb. Sydney Sweeney plays as Julia Cornwall. Celeste O'Connor plays as Maddie Franklin. Mike Epps had like a cameo as O'Neill. He was like the fire department chief. Tahar Rahim plays as Ezekiel Sims. Isabella Merce plays as Anya. Emma Roberts, she plays as Mary Parker. Adam Scott plays as Ben Parker. So Zia Mamet plays as Amaria. And Carrie Beach plays as Constance. And that's the main characters pretty much. So this movie opens up 1973. So when I look at the timelines, I'm seeing a lot of different stuff online, but the timelines it's definitely not registering with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but it's connected to, it would make more sense with the Tom Holland Spider-Man, but I hear other people saying it doesn't, but to me it makes more sense. So let's go through it. 1973, Constance is in Peru. She's looking for a particular spider. At the time, she has this guy Ezekiel who's like her bodyguard. But Ezekiel comes from the struggle, and he's got a lot of shortcomings, and he wants the opportunity to make wealth and turn his lifestyle around. So he believed that having this type of power from this spider can give him that. So she's looking for the spider. So they're out, and she's pregnant. She's about 8 months pregnant. She's almost due, but she's out there. At the time that you're watching this in the beginning of the movie, you find out more to why she's the real reason why she's out there. Nevertheless, she ended up finding a spider. So Ezekiel, now that she has the spider, he shoots the men in the camp and then tells her to give him the spider. At that point, of course, she fights him being pregnant. Well, she doesn't really fight him. She pretty much picks up a fight to not give up the spider. And he ended up shooting her while he was trying to get the spider from her. Now, when he shot her, of course she dropped. She's pregnant. He runs off with the spider. Now I couldn't remember what these people were that they got a special name. It starts with an L. I can't remember what that name was, but nevertheless, those people came down, swooped down, grabbed her up, and they can, jump like spiders. They're humans, but they could jump like spiders from tree to tree, and they took her into this cave and put her in this water. Now, they was trying to save her life, but you can already see she was fading. She gave birth to her daughter. And when she gave birth to her daughter, they pretty much told her that, they'll be there to help the daughter when the daughter resurfaces and comes back and for questions or whatever. So she passed away. She tried to reach out to touch her daughter, but then she died. Fast forward, went to and that was 1973. So fast forward to 2004. So she would have, Cassandra would have now been, they call her Cassie, but Cassandra would have now been 31. Now, where I see this is going in the timeline of Tom Holland. Now, Tom Holland's first movie came out in 2017. So it does tie in better with the Tom Holland. But nevertheless, so she's now at 31. She's EMT, and that's. But she's real good at saving lives, but she doesn't like the credit. She didn't go out with her family. She was in a foster home and stuff like that. So her partner, who's in the ambulance with her, is Ben Parker, aka Peter Parker's uncle. So Ben Parker's sister is pregnant with Peter, and so you're meeting like a prequel to Spider-Man's original with his Uncle Ben and his mom. So that's setting the tone there. Now on Cassidy's situation, they go and help a man whose car flipped over and is hanging over a bridge. She slipped right into action, but then after they got him out, she fell in the water. The car fell in the water. When it fell in the water, it triggered her powers. So when she came back to, Uncle Ben was resuscitating her and doing CPR, and she spit up the blood, and I said the blood, spit up the water, and she said our vitals was good, but she instantly starts seeing like the minimum powers where she could see a little bit of the future, and then she'll replay it, but she wasn't catching on. So she just thought it was just deja vu. Now what happens was a big scene was she went to Uncle Ben's sister's baby shower, and she was seeing stuff with fire. And before they know it, by the end of the baby shower, there was a big fire. Now when she got there, she seen things ahead of time what was going to happen, and one of the things she seen was Mike Epps' character, the fire department chief, that she was standing over him with blood. Now it didn't happen right away, but he wanted to get in the vehicle and drive, and she was telling him like, let me drive. And he was like, no, you already had an accident, you need to just chill. And then he drove off, and somebody hit him out of nowhere and killed him. So at that point, she jumped in her depressed mode. From there, you had Ezekiel, who keeps waking up. Now he can see visions too. He keeps seeing his death. That the Spider Woman is 3 of them that's going to kill him. And his thought is, hey, how about if I find them? If I find them while they're young, I could kill them, and that's and eliminate them from trying to kill me, even though it's his destiny to get killed. So he pretty much is on a mission to find. He's on a mission to find these 3 girls. Now he manipulates a woman who works for the NSA. They got access to the technology that gets all the cameras in the country, and he got a thought of what these women look like, and they pretty much was able, him and his the girl, what's her name, his assistant, Amaria, she's like the tech, and she's looking at the cameras, and she's trying to find these girls. So of course the 3 girls, along with Cassie, ended up in a train station at the same time. Coincidence, but instantly Cassie starts seeing him coming through the train and killing them. Now she had already noticed when she was in her apartment that she could change the future. because a bird had came and crashed into her window, and then when it actually was very happy, she left her window open. The bird flew in and flew back out. So that kind of let her know that she could probably change something. So what happens is when she sees the three teenagers, she tells them it's emergency. They need to get off the train, and so he goes into his spider mode, and now they know somebody's after him. So now it's this big thing where he's after them. He don't know who Cassie is until like later on in the movie where she comes and helps the girls again after she told them to stay put, and she looked into the notes of her mom, these books that the mom left, and she was reading about the spiders and what the powers do, and then she found a picture of Ezekiel and her mom. So when her face recognition was on the NSA girl Maria Amaria, she was able to tell her who she was, and when he said Webb, when she said Webb, he instantly put two and two together. It can't be like that's her daughter. So he talked to Cassie in her dream, pretty much telling her this ain't your fight, let it go. I gotta do what I gotta do with these girls. So nevertheless, Cassie reached out to Uncle Ben, told Uncle Ben, listen, I need you to look out for these girls. They're off the radar, and I gotta go to Peru for a week. So the girls is building up rapport with her, and they trust her. So now, and she taught them how to all do how to resuscitate somebody or whatever. So she taught them all that. So she went to Peru. Of course, she ran into the people that saved their mom, and they told her everything. Let her see that the real reason her mom was over there because she was diagnosed inside her mom's womb as having like some type of, she was already gonna have some type of disease or not disease, like she was already gonna have a condition. So the mom was going over there to get this spider because it's known for healing. Because they just was going to, put the mom on medication and stuff and says nothing they could do. But she was determined to try to fight for her daughter. So all these years, Cassie pretty much resented the mom for going over there when she was 8 months pregnant. But she didn't know that she was really trying to go over there to help her out. So she, was able to hug her mom in the dream world. Nevertheless, she knew that the man told her pretty much, hey, once you finally ready to do something powerful, the power will be there with you. So now she going back to the U.S. By that time, Uncle Ben's sister water broke, and they trying to get to the hospital. He got the three girls with her, and of course, one of the girls looked into a mirror somewhere where it caught her face. So they was able to, Ezekiel was able to know their location. So it was a big showdown, and then Cassie showed up right in time. And so it was a big battle, but Cassie she don't know how to utilize her full powers. But one of the things that the guy told her, he pretty much told her that you could be at multiple places at once. So you can send an image of yourself to help this person. So that's what she ended up doing, because it was a moment where all three of the girls was they was hanging on like a thread, hanging on a pole, very fall, and then she was able to send different images of herself to go help them. And she pretty much was able to use, because she could see the future, and use those moments to help her get away from Ezekiel. And things, they were on top of a roof, and things just start falling down on them. And the building, pretty much, part of the building almost pretty much collapsed on him. But he gonna be still alive. You could already tell that. And so she then fell in the water, Cassie, from the roof when the building was falling down. And one of the girls dipped in the water to grab her and brought her back. And then they all took turns to resuscitate her. And she came back. But when she came back, she lost her eyesight and she was paralyzed. So in the comics, that's how she is. She's paralyzed, and she she's blind. So this is the start to tie into the Spider-Man multiverse. But of course, it won't be a part 2. They were better off taking this movie, and if they had, I don't know if Sony has deal with a platform. This would probably been better if they took this movie and made it a series, like a six episode series. You could have did more with it on one of them platforms. It would have probably been better suited for that, not to go in the movie theater, because it seems like, with me not knowing the comics too much, it seems like it was rushed, and it seems like it was missing something. So nevertheless, it's not worth it going to the movies to see it. It's more or less wait till it's on a platform and then watch it then. It's just, out of my 4-star rating system, I give it a 2 out of 4 stars. It's decent enough to watch, not worth to go to the movie theater. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Till next time.